Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Zcast. And today, once again, it is Thursday, August 28th, 2025. And that means today we are talking about the Los Angeles Chargers. Yes, we are continuing the AFC West tour. We talked about the Chiefs this morning, talked about the Raiders this morning. Now here we are talking about the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, guys, a team that made a pretty good improvement after last season. They did finish last season, 2024, 11-6. Now, it was year one for the Harbaugh-Herbert connection. Now, I think Jim Harbaugh, you have your own opinions about him. Obviously, I'm a Buckeyes fan, but I think he's a great coach no matter what the kind of drama he left behind in Michigan. I think he's a great coach, and I think, he did flee to the NFL, but beyond the point, Jim Harbaugh is a great NFL coach, and all he's done is win in the NFL. Obviously, took the 49ers to the Super Bowl with Colin Kaepernick. So, the guy's a great NFL coach. Now, of course, you're pairing him with Justin Herbert. Jim Harbaugh is known to be a quarterback guru, and you get to pair him with Justin Herbert. So I think the future is very, very bright for the Chargers with that head coach hire they made last offseason. Now, as mentioned before, they had a drastic improvement in 2024 as they finished 11-6. Now, unfortunately, they did lose in the wild card against the Texans. It was a tough game. I think Herbert did not play his best. I think he did have a pick six, but Ladd McConkey, the rookie last year, had a historical performance that game. But again, I don't think Herbert had his best game, so they unfortunately lost on the wild card. But again, a good chance for the Chargers to show improvement, and they did obviously make the playoffs. So, very good for the Chargers. And last season, of course, year one, Herbert and Harbaugh connection, but you saw an okay year from Justin Herbert. He did play all 17 games, which is very important. Yes, Justin Herbert started all 17 games for the Chargers, but his numbers were kind of okay. He had 23 touchdowns, over 3,800 passing yards, which is obviously a lot, almost 400, and only threw 3 interceptions. Now, he did throw 2, possibly 3 in that playoff loss. He did throw 2 in that playoff loss at least, so obviously, not good, but relatively average year for Herbert, but pretty solid. Again, they had a very good season from their rookie wide receiver last year. They drafted Ladd McConkey in the second round, a huge steal. I think they traded up with the Eagles to draft him, but nonetheless, a pretty good addition to their offense. He finished with 82 receptions, over 1,100 receiving yards, and 7 touchdowns. He was Justin Herbert's number 1 guy last year, so obviously a great addition to the offense. Rookie out of Georgia. We also saw a career season for receiver Quentin Johnston, the tall, big body receiver out of TCU. I think it was his 3rd year last year. Up until last season, he'd been a bit of a disappointment, but he did have a career best 8 touchdowns last year. He looked like he was an absolutely amazing player last year, so that's great to see. I think he unfortunately suffered a bad injury this preseason, so hopefully he's back out there ready for week 1. But again, I think he's going to be a great addition. Obviously not addition, but a great, another guy to have in this offense. Now, last season they did have a bit of a rough defense. Now, it wasn't the best in the NFL, but certainly not the worst. You got guys like Derwin James and Khalil Mack, but still, bit of an average defense, and also a bit of an average running back room, if you ask me as well. They had J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. Now, this is the Ravens running back room from 2020, I believe, so obviously, pretty interesting there. I think Gus Edwards is a great player, but certainly getting up there in age. And J.K., I wish he could stay healthy, but again, he had an okay season, but truly not, nothing special, no offense, for the running backs last year. They also had first-round pick Joe Alt, a big left tackle out of Notre Dame, had a very good rookie year as well. So looks like they nailed their draft picks, which is good. Obviously, you got to do that. But moving on to the 2025 season for the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, guys, of course, we all know this. They are in the AFC West, a very loaded division. You got the Broncos, Chiefs, and the Raiders, who I think, if you guys have watched lots of video, I think the Raiders are going to be a lot better than people expect. Now, again, speaking of the Chargers, they did lose one of their key franchise cornerstones over the last decade, it feels like, as they actually cut Joey Bosa. He signed with the Bills, so they don't have Joey Bosa anymore. And I would say their offense, I think it needs a little more juice. You saw Quentin Johnston have a big year last year, obviously Ladd McConkey, but I think this offense needs a little more juice. Obviously with Justin Herbert there as your quarterback, you got the guy. I just think they need more juice around him. So I think the Chargers made some good moves. Now, Started off by signing running back from the Steelers, Najee Harris, who unfortunately for him suffered a very bad firework injury with his eye. Now, he was recently cleared off of the injury report, so I do think expect him to see him ramp it up and get ready for the season, possibly ready for week 1. They also signed tight end from the Jets, very underrated tight end in my opinion, Tyler Conklin, as well as signed guard Mekhi Becton from the Eagles, coming off a Super Bowl championship from Mr. Mekhi Becton, former top 10 pick by the Jets. They also signed former Chargers receiver Keenan Allen. Yes, they brought back Keenan Allen. I absolutely love that move. Now, they also brought back Mike Williams earlier in the offseason, but unfortunately, again, we saw him get injured, and he unfortunately had to retire. So, very tough news for him and Mike Williams. But the Chargers signed, I love this again, they signed Keenan Allen. He was a great fit with Justin Herbert. I love that for them. Truly bringing more juice. Now, speaking of juice, the Chargers, they nailed their draft pick once again. They took in the first round, pick 22, stud running back out of North Carolina, Omarion Hampton. Talk about juice. I think this guy has it. This guy is going to be an elite player in this league, and I think he truly will help this offense reach levels to the next step, which is, big for this team. Again, when you really rely on the run, they couldn't not really rely on the run as much as they wanted to last season, but I think having two guys now, of course, Najee Harris, I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do with his injury, his eye injury, very scary, but hopefully he's able to be back and look good to what we know he can do. But again, I'd watch out for rookie running back Omarion Hampton to be a very strong and have a big impact on the Chargers offense this season. He's going to be a very big part of their offense, I would expect. Now, they also drafted a speedster out of Ole Miss in round 2, wide receiver Trey Harris, who was unsigned. He was one of the last players to sign. I do think he's now under contract now, which is good. But certainly another deep threat for the Chargers and Justin Herbert, which I think, again, kind of brings some more juice to that offense. Now, again, their defense, well, I will say their offensive line is very good, but again, unfortunately, they lost their star left tackle, Rashawn Slater, for the year. Now, he is an all-pro, Pro Bowler, top 5 left tackle in the NFL, and again, that sucks that he's going to be out for the year. Of course, Justin Herbert's blindside. It's going to suck. But I think they're going to shift over their first-round pick last season, Joe Alt, over to left tackle to protect his blindside. Because I think Joe Alt is on the trajectory. But obviously, once you have Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt together, you're building something special. But of course, it sucks that Rashawn Slater's out for the season. But I think Joe Alt should do a good job filling in there at left tackle. But yeah, the Chargers defense does kind of question me a little bit, cause a bit of concern here. Now, again, they're in a very loaded division. You got to go against Mahomes twice a year. Now you got Bo Nix. Who knows what Geno Smith and the Raiders are going to look like now. I'm expecting the Chargers defense to maybe be a bit of a cause of concern now. Again, they did lose. Unfortunately, lost Joey Bosa. But they obviously re-signed Khalil Mack, who's a great player, obviously. They have a guy I really like, Derwin James, very good player. But again, their defense just kind of scares me a little bit. Nobody really stands out besides, obviously, Derwin James, Khalil Mack. I'm sure there will be guys who will surprise me and turn out. I just, on paper, it doesn't seem to be as good as I think it could be in the future. Now, I really think this offense, though, super improved from last season. Again, we saw a very good year out of Herbert last year, but I think with these guys they added, I think it should be even better. Like, he had 23 touchdowns this season, maybe close to 30, 40 touchdowns next year. Who knows? But, again, I think they really need to bring more juice to this offense, especially the running game. I think they did just that, obviously, with Najee Harris. And now, Omarion Hampton, I'm very thrilled to watch him play. Of course, yeah, again, just the defense is a bit concerning. Now, the wide receivers, again, I think the wide receivers are very good with the additions they made. Obviously, they had Ladd McConkey last year, but bringing in that true veteran, Keenan Allen, I absolutely love that move. Once again, already has the chemistry with Herbert, one of their franchise guys. I think it's a great move, again, to pair him next to Quentin Johnson and Ladd McConkey year 2. Now, of course, in terms of the record prediction, the Chargers are in a very tough conference, again, division mentioned before, but they open the year home against Kansas City. That's going to be a tough game. Now, the Chiefs will miss their guy, Rashee Rice, for the first 6 games, but I do expect that to probably be a loss for them. They opened the season against 3 straight AFC West teams, which is insane if you ask me. Home against the Chiefs, week 2 at the Raiders, and week 3 home against the Broncos. Very, very tough start to the season for the Chargers. But I do expect them to kind of start maybe a bit slow, maybe lose to the Chiefs, but I expect them to beat the Broncos and possibly Now, I did say that I expect the Raiders to beat the Chargers week 1. That's tough to say. I don't know, but again, week 2, but again, tough to say. Now, again, I do see them finishing 11-7, and I'll say they do finish below the Broncos, but still, It's hard to say. I do see them being. I think this is a playoff team, but again, there are so many teams in the AFC that could contend, and again, like the Colts. There's just a lot of teams. I'm gonna pick the Chargers to finish 11-7, and I'll say they will finish for that final wild card spot. I do expect them to make the playoffs. Obviously, take big leap in year 2. Jim Harbaugh, Justin Herbert. I think it's gonna be a great kind of pairing. I mean, we already saw last year, but I think the more time they have together, they're going to truly build something special here. I think Harbaugh is the perfect guy for Mr. Justin Herbert. Y'all know Justin Herbert's trending right now. My guy. Hey, Justin's the perfect guy, man. 6'7" quarterback from Los Angeles. How can you not love this guy, man? What a guy. Respect to Justin Herbert. So, anyway, guys, again, I'm going to say thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. We are wrapping out these videos, guys. We're going to 1 week before the season starts. Next Thursday night, Cowboys at Eagles. Will Micah Parsons play? Quite frankly, probably not. Will he be traded? I don't know. But, again, guys, thanks for watching. And this has been the Los Angeles Chargers. Go Ravens. Thank you, guys.